What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Power of I Am. I am Eric. I am all that is. I am love. I am perfection. I am always chosen. I am everyone's top priority. No one is better than me. No one compares to me. Claim it. All right, first, before I begin, if anyone wants to join the membership channel, the link is in the description. It's where you access the live streams. I do one a week. It's where you get to ask me any question you want, and I'll always have an answer. Anyone wants to work with me, the link is also in the description. All right. Manifest like a villain, part 3. And this is going to be the greatest one. This might be, in fact, I'm going to claim it. This might be the best video I ever do. Right? I'm not holding back from anything. I'm putting everything out there. Okay. Oh, a lot of things are going to be touched. All right. So, you know what time it is. It's time for scripture. Again, for anyone's new here, I don't quote Bible verses for the religious meaning of them. It is the metaphysical or my own interpretation. Because again, for those who haven't watched my life story, it was scripture that I followed as if it was an instruction manual of my mind and manifestation. And that's what helped shape my new reality. Okay? And change my life. All right. Let's go here. Okay. Remember, today's video is Manifest Like a Villain, part 3. What's up, buddy? I don't think they can see it. Can you see him? All right. This is Mark 12:10-17. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous. Then the chief priests, teachers of the law, and the elders looked for a way to arrest him, because they know he had spoken the parable against them. But they were afraid of the crowd, so they left him and they went away. By the way, if anyone hasn't figured it out, manifest like a villain is basically manifesting and not giving a fuck what anyone thinks, because they can only think what you think. And if you understand reality, that is actually the case. And anyone who preaches that does not understand how reality works. I'll say that again. There's a lot of contradictions and hypocrisy. Just want to throw that out there. All right. Drink up, buddy. Paying the imperial. There we go. All right. Let me continue. Later, they sent some of the Pharisees to Jesus to catch him in his words. They came to him to catch him in his words, like those gotcha bros, right? They came to him and said, "Teacher, we know that you are a man of integrity. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are, but you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? Should we pay? Shouldn't we?" Caesar is basically, the physical realm, the 3D realm, the physical plane. Again, how I interpret things. But Jesus knew their hypocrisy, and Jesus represents our I am awareness, the inner identity we are currently inhabiting and never not inhabiting. We are never not source. We are never not functioning as God. Okay? One with God. Okay. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are, but you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right to pay the imperial tax? Okay. But Jesus knew their hypocrisy. "Why are you trying to trap me?" he asked. "Bring me a denarius and let me look at it." They brought the coin and he asked them, "Whose image is this? And whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. Then Jesus said to them, "Give back to Caesar what is Caesar, and to God what is God." And they were amazed at him. They were amazed at him. Interesting. Almost like they were reflecting his own way, his own identity. Give the nonsense back to the nonsense, right? Give the nonsense back to the nonsense. Let's continue. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good, pleasing, and perfect will. That speaks for itself, right? Do not conform to the pattern of this world, this lack mindset of this world, this limitation of this world. There's not enough in this world. You must obey to the collective mediocrity of this world. The danger of a collective mediocrity. I made a video about that. I'm going to talk about what all this is too, by the way. It should continue playing. I mean, it should. Whatever. The danger of collective mediocrity and why that's so bad, right? So, no, it's going to continue. Okay, again, I'm going to get to that. Everything always comes together on this channel. I don't just say things for the fuck of it or do things for the fuck of it. Galatians 1:10. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Oh, sounds like a good one. Am I trying to give a shit what other people think? Or do I only care what I choose internally? Because I understand how reality works. As within, so without. That will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Cause and effect. Mirror principle. Again, I see a lot of things out there that's like, or certain comments, that these things only apply for certain things. Makes no fucking sense. Well, it applies for this. Well, this is ridiculous. Again, I'm going to get to that. Stay tuned. Buckle up. Am I now trying to... Come on, Zane. We're not knocking phones over today. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? Am I trying to please people and not be authentic? You know, am I going to do that? Am I going to do what I think should be done? Because, you know, we get pats on the back for thinking it should be a certain way, which you actually don't. I'm going to get to that too. If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a certain of Christ. I would not be a servant of Christ, the awareness, the person I chose to be, my identity, right? I'm going to allow the outside to form me, basically live against our true nature. Again, hypocrisy. All right. Proverbs 29:25. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. Yes. Yes. All right. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light. I create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all of these things. Or the law, or the Lord, the Father, how everything comes together. Meaning there's only one power in charge of it all. What do you mean? There's only one sovereign power in charge of it all. Good, bad, evil is attached to the 3D realm. To the infinite, everything is the same. We are the ones that give meaning. We decide what's good, bad, what we perceive as good, bad, so then it must be. High value, no value. Hard, easy. To the internal, everything's the same. One more time. I form the light. I create the darkness. I make peace. I create evil. I, the Lord, do all of these things. Why are you talking about this, Eric? We'll see. Get there. John 14:2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. This coincides with the kingdom of heaven is within you, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Right? Mark 11:24. Believed you received it, and it is yours. Although you don't really have to believe it, you could just claim it with conviction. Just like Job 22:28 here. Thou also shalt decree a thing, and that shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. Basically, whatever you're putting out there, whatever's in the darkness, will be made light. Because we're just perceiving light. Right? And it'll be established unto thee. So, what do you mean by this, Eric? My Father's house has many mansions. Mark 11:24, believed you received it and it is yours. Oh, so that must mean, in accordance with quantum physics and the fact that there are actually infinite parallel realities. This might have to do with my house has many mansions. So you mean that's why all these manifestation people, myself included, say that you can manifest anything you want. There's no limits. You can do it. Have anything you want, right? Now there's some people. Well, this is ridiculous free will. In my bed tonight, this is ridiculous. You manipulated somebody. No, you just moved in conscious awareness. He moved in conscious awareness to the version of her that was already feeling that way. Why? Because my father's house has many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. It didn't say, believed you received and it is yours, unless user 1457 in disguise as someone else trying to leave a smart ass comment like, well, this is ridiculous. Well, I guess we can't have it because user 619457 Chooch said, this is ridiculous. Guess we can't have that. I guess we can't, right? You know what's funny? The free will people. Just really quick, they don't understand. You don't understand how reality works because otherwise you wouldn't leave a comment. That makes no sense, right? And if you understand that you're selecting reality and creation is finished, and there's infinite possibilities, infinite perspectives. In fact, if you don't understand the I am principle at all, then why are you leaving a comment? It's foolish. I mean, you could watch all my content from the beginning till now, and then maybe you understand. But I wouldn't leave a comment on things I have no understanding of, right? I mean, that's just me. But okay, so if that's manipulation, okay, so what if happens when you manifest a job? Are you manipulating someone to get that job? Why don't you look at it the other way? How about the people, myself included, who were in relationships and the same way this guy in my bed tonight guy perceived that person in a different way, we perceive people to be fucking monsters and maybe cheat on us and change their behaviors to be shitty and do awful things and just be a mean person and sabotage our own relationships. How come that's not count? We don't see it from that perspective of manipulation. We manipulated them to act a certain way. But it's only because you don't agree with the content. You don't agree with the desire that they want. Well, guess what? The fact that they have the desire, that means it already exists in creation. Why? Because my father's house has many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. Thou shalt decree a thing, it'll be bestowed onto you. Right? The dark will be made light. Your inner will come out. Whatever's inside of you will always be made to light. So if you can explain to me how it's only free will violation for things that you deem as, oh no, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Because you can't have anything you want because people are involved in anything. If 8 billion people got to move, they'll fucking move. Guess we're violating everyone. God, Philip, that's because you think there's only one reality. Maybe that's it. You think you're throwing a fucking frisbee into someone's forehead and thought transmitting and doing woo-woo shit and they're going to do it? No. Anyway. Again, understand how reality works first, the cause and effect, the shifting and moving in conscious awareness, that all we experience is our awareness. We only get what we are aware of and who we are being. It's the law of being, not the law of means to getting, not the law of I'm going to do this magic trick and I'm going to make this person be in my bed. This is ridiculous. All right. Speaking of that, because a lot of people want like leaving comments to seem righteous, right? Seem righteous. Acts 10:34. Peter declares, God is no respecter of persons. I now realize how true it is that God does not show favoritism. Oh, that must mean you're not getting a pat in the back. That must mean why bad things happen to good people. Good people struggle. And then who we can perceive as bad, oh, they're doing great. And then you blame God. Well, you should be blaming your own fucking perception. But then again, you still don't understand how reality works, so I can't fault you at it. I was once in your shoes, but then I figured it out. But while I was figuring it out, I didn't sit there and jump YouTube to YouTube channel to leave my comments that make no sense. Okay. All right. I think that's, I think all these covered where I'm going to today. Manifest like a villain, which just means just give no fucks what anyone thinks, because everyone's you and you really experience yourself anyway. So why not go all in and be super exaggerative? Now, if you guys seen Manifest Like a Villain Part 1, I kind of touch on how it's like, you get to a point, sometimes depending where you are in life, you can get to a point and you're just tired of the same shit. And I kind of compared it to like a super villain in movies where they take that energy and they just use it for strength and conviction and just decide and give no fucks. Like, this is it because I say so. It has to be this way because I say so. And then Manifested Like a Villain Part 2 was how I explained why I use the type of concept of self concept, things that I do, how I speak about myself, why I say the mantra I do in the beginning of my videos, because there's a reason for everything, right? I explained that. And today it's just going to be a bit of all of that, and some other fun things. So you might get offended, you might not like it. But the best part about it, like the Christ awareness, I do not care. Give what's Caesar's to Caesar, right? Because all the things that I see out there that are like that are just pieces of my old awareness, right? Of how I assume people would think, how I would assume a public platform would be. Because whenever you decide to be new, that old you gets shot out of you. It's like you drank an identity detox tea, and now you're brand new instantly, because you are. It's true now. But then you excrete the old, and now that old is still out, the old awareness and the old reality that has a right to exist, because we're shifting, we're moving in consciousness, and reality materializes through you and as you. So as it does, you may experience pieces of the old you, and pieces of you that you may not realize existed. And all you're doing is just looking at the reflection of your old self and being scared of it, or fearing it, or complaining about it. You're just looking at yourself and what you used to be aware of, and what you used to accept as true, and what you used to carry within you like a spiritually transmitted disease that must be proven to you, because whatever is in the dark is made light. Again, I use scripture for what I do here, but it works for me. You don't have to agree with me. In fact, you don't have to be here and watch me. That's the beauty. I just know what works, and I try to simplify it and get people to understand in a very simple way, because I was once in everyone's shoes trying to figure this shit out of desperation, following just techniques only, not realizing that I am the technique and I'm the one that gives the power to the technique. If there's anything I make fun of on this channel, I have the right to make fun of it because I was it. That voice I do, next best technique, bleh, all those voices I do, that was me. I fell for shit. I fell for moonwater shit. I fell for all this shit. But here's the funny thing. You don't need all that. But here's the funny thing. If you fully have belief and faith and trust in those things, they work. Why? Because like I said in the video I made, it's the law, whatever the fuck you say works. So in this video, on this channel is whatever the power of I am and Eric say works for him. And it does. And it's very simple. Why? This is my way. I know fucking works, because my way is what we've done our entire life. But now I just try to teach you guys how to control it and how simple it is. That's all. So now the way of the villain. Again, I'm going to bring this up and say, why do you have these type of individuals on the screen, Eric? We'll get there. A lot of you on the member side know what that is. So, okay, the way of the villain, part 3. Now, the way I do things is, when it comes to self, I am very extreme. I am not, and everything I talk about here, guys, is inner talk. Okay? Because of course everyone understands it's the world is your mirror, right? You know how I mentioned how there's, for some reason, people turn a blind eye to the mirror principle, and everything comes from within you only for certain subjects, I guess, when it's only beneficial to them and the limited beliefs they speak of or something. I don't know. But the way my story was, I was the most negative person. I saw the worst in everything. I think I might have mentioned this in my life story. I saw the worst in everything. Good things could happen to me, and I would find the worst thing in it. I would be like, oh, let's see how long this is going to last for. Oh, well, you know, my luck, this is going to happen. This would probably happen. Watch this end up happening. Blah, 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 right? So I kept experiencing the same thing. I hated talking to people. I was very shy and introverted. It's very soft-spoken. I was always told to speak up. Can't hear you. Can't understand. You talk so low, bro. Right? Large crowds bothered me. That type of thing. And that's who I was. So, you know, of course, the world gave me more of that. So in the same sense, how I say, like, the way I do things, now I control it. Like, so now when I was given bad things, when I was given good things and I focused on the bad, like, it wasn't even there. That's manifestation. Being aware of something you can't even see yet. Something good would happen and I would see the worst of it. And then it would end up turning into that. So now manifestation really is when you're dealt a bad piece of your old awareness, you got to see something good in it or see it happening for you while you can't see it. You fight for the good story the same way I fought for the bad one. And voila, that kind of worked. Right? And then I realized, why do I experience the opposite? Why do I experience the opposite? Why was I just doing techniques? The opposite occurred. And then I just thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I give up. This doesn't work because I'm seeing the opposite. It's the opposite effect. Why me? What the fuck? And I couldn't find anyone describing why besides, oh, just ignore it. Just ignore the 3D. Just ignore. But if I'm ignoring it, then I see truth in this, that there's something to ignore. But but anyway, that's the ego talk. And yes, everyone, there is an ego. Yes, we all have one. But it's a part of us. We are one with it, right? Because the ego is just our left hemisphere mind that is attached to Earth. I need evidence. Left hemisphere logic. I need evidence. I need evidence. You say something, it's like a dog. It's got to go fetch it. Oh, what'd you say, Eric? You're all that is? Okay, I got to go find out. I'm going to go find out. Be right back. See if you're lying to me, bro. Right? It's just old awareness. And if you've been in that identity long enough, it thinks that's what you're comfortable with. It's trying to keep you comfortable, keep you safe, keep you from losing your mind, right? So I didn't know that at that time. And then when I start telling a new story, like I said earlier, the detox tea, I'm getting confronted by the old me, but I didn't know that. It's old awareness, yes. Everything is God's source, including ego. We are both sides of the mind. We are the subconscious mind. We ain't programming shit. We're not reprogramming anything. We are everything. We are all that is, right? But what happens is you are one with God consciousness. And you are basically you could be infinite amounts of God. You could be a poor God. You could be a rich God. You could be a God in his power. You could be a supervillain God, right? Or you could be the one that is that old you, that voice you hear that's trying to keep you like, no, hey, we suck, remember? That's God too. You just created a God that's who he is, the sucky one. He molds our reality to us, who we choose. Because all possibilities exist, including ones that we don't wish to experience. But to the infinite, it's all the same. It's giving him having the experience. So yes, the ego is something that you must overcome by not giving it attention and having authority over it by either, this means nothing to me, I don't care. Or this is happening for me, whatever. Oh, what are those thoughts I hear? You're making me feel like shit, you're talking all this rubbish, I don't care, I know who I am. It means nothing. I can literally decide what you say to me. I can literally decide what is true. But if I'm ignoring you, that means there's something that's true about you that I gotta hide from. So therefore, you stick around longer. I didn't understand that, and at that time, I didn't hear anyone talking about that. And it wasn't until I went all in that I realized what that was. It was just me. My old identity that was trying to stay alive, and that's what the Christ awareness represents. That's what the two thieves on each side represent. Left hemisphere, right hemisphere. The one on the left mocks him like the old ego. The one on the right says, remember who you fucking are and remember me in paradise. Right? As Son of Man. All right. So yeah. So now I realize something. My mantra in the beginning of the videos, I am all that is. You either love it, people love it, or people, this is narcissism. Ugh, it's a self-absorbed bullshit, y'all. Again, check out the scriptures I said earlier. Anyway, I'm all that is. I am love. I am perfection. I am always chosen. I am everyone's top priority. No one is better than me. No one compares to me. Again, people who don't understand reality and that we have our own experience. We have our own experience of perception. Everyone is a real person, right? With real personalities, real characteristics. But it's not until we interact with them and tell a story and perceive something of them that we experience that version. We're not violating free will and casting spells, and we have our own experience. John 19:11. Nothing has power or authority over me unless given to them from above, which is me, which is our minds, which is our perception, our awareness. My Father's house has many mansions. If I can think it, it exists. If I desire it, it exists. I'm choosing what to experience. We all have our own experience. All the views I have, double them. We have, if I have a conversation with someone on the phone, people think, oh, there's one conversation happening. No, there's two. The one I experience of you and the one you experience of me. I don't experience yours, you don't experience mine. That is how reality fucking works, as cause and effect. You think I'm having an impact or because I want, what happens if Joey wants the same girl as me? Does that mean I can't have it? There must be infinite realities. We must have our own kingdoms. Oh yeah, scripture says that. So all the free will warriors, beat it. You don't know how reality works. All the people like, this mantra, this is ridiculous. Right? One, I'm going to say why I use it, but it covers all bases. The first thing is, I'm all that is. That's me saying, I'm everything. I'm one with God. I'm one with the all, the highest place of power. I am love. You become love. You receive love. Because why, as reality works, you can't receive something you're not a source of. If I'm searching for love outside of me, I need that. That means it's empty in me. Mirror principle, warriors. That means if it's absent in me, then it's going to be absent in the world for me. Right? If I'm actively searching. But when I say I'm perfection, scripture also says, be perfect for your Father in heaven is perfect. That means the world must mirror back perfect circumstances back to me. Right? Always chosen. That covers a lot of bases. A lot of people want to have great careers, great jobs, great YouTube channels, great, relationships. Prioritize, speaks for itself. Right? You wouldn't automatically assume someone else could be chosen over you. And because everyone always thinks what you think, that means you give the opportunity for someone else to be chosen because you are thinking, oh shit, I wonder if there's someone else if they're going to choose over me. Okay, you just gave them permission to do that. Yes, that's how reality works. You reap what you sow. What is dark is made to light. Decree it. The light will shine upon you. And since we have our own experience, yes, no one is better than you and no one compares to you because it's your own experience and because you're all that is and one with the Father. Who's better than that? Please, someone let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know who's better than the all. I'll wait. Okay? Now, I mentioned that and I mentioned my rampages about being super, absolutely. Do not be humble whatsoever, I say. Be absolutely ridiculous, exaggerate to put your greatness. Everything's available for you. Your mind is worth millions. Everything you do turns to gold. There is no competition. In fact, you're the only competition. You're the only choice, the fucking prize. You're the most important person in any room you fucking enter. You always know what to say, when to say it, and how to fucking say it. People could feel your presence before you even enter the fucking building. I have a great example of this on the member side. Now, people hear that again, like, oh, these limited thinkers that don't understand how reality works.
Well, this is self-absorbed. You can't manifest that. You can't just say this. You can't just say I'm a bad bitch. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Now, that same type of feedback isn't said when people are saying negative things all the time, right? Or even maybe they're saying about themselves. Can you see how much people exaggerate negativity? And they don't care. This is ridiculous. How many people will say like, oh my God, I'm feeling dying. Oh my God, I'm just the most, I have the shittiest look in the history of fucking mankind. Every woman fucking hates me. I'm sick of this shit. I used to say shit like that. I used to say it about certain people and myself all the time. And that's why my life sucked. That's why I was going down. That's why I was 1 week away from being on the street. Now, to overcome, when I decided to become new, and I wrote a letter to myself, that's another video. You think I'm going to fight fire with lukewarm water just to conform to the outside world and not renew my mind and give the Caesar to Caesar and this to this and God to God? I better make sure I'm a nice guy because I'm not going to get rewarded, even though I think I am. And I'm going to say just mediocre things and be limited and mediocre because I'm doing the right thing. God forbid I say some exaggerative great things about myself, even though it's my inner world and I can only, I'm the only one choosing what to decide in my inner world. So that's why I've decided I am this now. And it's not about building something up. When I say no one's better than no one compares to me, that's true right now. And it was true the first day I said it when the day before, I was that shittier version of me. I was that now. And I kept reminding myself that. And I kept reminding myself that. And that brought me up to a high point of awareness where I felt fucking amazing. Now, I've heard people also say, well, you can't just feel amazing and manifest. You know what? A lot of those things like that, all you got to do is simple. It's as simple as this. I always say it's not the content, it's the person behind the content. It is not the business, it's the person running the business, the successful ones, right? All you got to do is just, and the person like speaking from you from love, it's like, how's your reality? Are you in your desired reality? Because get out of this collective mediocrity belief that you're currently inhabiting and give it a try. But if you don't understand the I am principle, then don't speak of it. Learn first. All right? I wish you well. And also, to those like, and it's not even just me, it's other people, and it's like, why? Why do people, and I got to this, I'm even like, this is why I don't watch content anymore. Why do people have to take the names of others, put them in their video just to try to get a name for themselves? Like, is something you're doing not working? Maybe you should listen to what I'm saying. Maybe it might help you. Instead of having to use other content creators' names in your titles for like views. I don't understand. And the best part about that is that they're successful. Leave them alone. Focus on you. Like Scripture says, treat others as you would like to be treated. Don't try to put someone else completely down to make you look fucking righteous, because all you're going to do is see more of them, so hopefully it pisses you off, but you're implying lack. Because if you see someone else and you're like,
you're not doing it.
You're implying that you don't have what you want. Because if you were actually content and manifested your dream desired reality, you would be indifferent and you wouldn't speak low about other people because you understand how reality works and you understand that they're just a perspective of you. They're just a perspective of you that you could attain. But the way you perceive them is because they're mirroring the fact that you see something in them that bothers you when you should be focused on you Because otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in that reality. And based by what I see, it's been that way for a while. All right. Now we move on. So, to be exaggerative about your inner world makes you feel up so good, and it builds you up. And you may not feel it right away, might not resonate it right away. But when you do the rampages and you do that morning mantra, and trust me, I have tons of success. And I'm just gonna make a video and I'm just gonna read them all. An hour long, just fucking read them all. Things reflect. And they do, because the world reflects who you are. So why not be exaggerative? Because if we were exaggerative for negativity and suffered, then we have every fucking right to say whatever the fuck we want without needing someone to be like, you shouldn't say this, or whatever. You're just a perception of me, and I can choose for you to go away. And I don't have to experience you, because that's how reality works, right? Now, speaking of that, as you see here, this perfect timing. Oh, this is a good one, Cleopatra. My moderator, Dante the Orion, he was a client of mine before, and he's leveled up big time. He gets it. He understands it. Now he's getting amazing fucking ideas, and he's thriving, and his channel's already monetized because it's fucking amazing. So he created Orion affirmations, affirmation music beta, because there's a lot of bullshit music out there that we don't realize that we're singing along depressing lyrics, right? Like, instead of listening to Billie Eilish and crying yourself to sleep, you should be, while you're trying to manifest a person, kind of contradicts it, right? Music brings out emotion in you. And if you have emotion while you're affirming bullshit lyrics, yikes, right? And I'm like, you can decide that has no effect on you. But there's a fine line of awareness there, right? You may not even realize what you're taking in. So anyway, he created Orion affirmations. Now, Orion affirmations, it's music, AI music. He's creating it. But it's, I told him, it's like, hey, bro, this is like me as if it was music. The way how I affirm with the craziness, it's fucking absurd. Like, but it makes you feel so good. It makes you laugh. And everyone who's listened to his fucking loves it. He's got every topic. He's got like money. Like my shadow has a net worth. Like, become their drug of choice. It's done. There's nothing for me to do is one of my top favorite ones. This Cleopatra one, and the music sounds better than the mainstream. Go see for yourself. Everyone go check out Orion affirmations if you like listening to shit that will uplift you. And the reason why it is so perfect to listen to this rather than bullshit, or, instead of, if you don't feel like rampaging on your own, listen to that. It's fucking great while you're in the gym. To get one of his songs stuck in your head is a beautiful thing to happen, because you're saturating your being with identity you would like to be, right? So yeah, check that out. Orion affirmations. I'll put the link in the description. Fully endorse it. You may even hear some of my own personal mantra or affirmations I've said in some of his songs. But he writes some crazy shit. I don't even know how the fuck he does it, but good for him. Check that out. Goes full head on. Manifest like a villain is about saying the most ridiculous things and actually not giving a fuck, because it's coming from you anyway, right? So in the same way, like I was saying, that we say negative things about ourselves and then we suffer, we should say the most ridiculous things and prosper and enjoy it and enjoy the love and received in return, because that's how people view you, right? So yeah. So and the reason why that's important, like I said in the videos, is because who do you think now when you get challenged by the old you, because you will. I don't care what this content that I see now. Well, there's only a fucking ego if you say there is. You're only gonna get challenged if you say you are. Okay, well, you got to get challenged to get past that awareness too, because you are always an identity. You are never not an identity. You are God, one with God, experiencing Himself, having a human experience. So you remain something long enough, and you shift to a new one, you will experience the old. So I think people just don't like trying to help people when they experience the old. They don't know what to say. Well, I don't know. Just say that it's you. Just say you don't experience it. Okay. Okay, when you experience the opposite, then okay. Anyway, but who do you think has a better chance to perceive reality in their favor? The villain who said, fuck this, I am 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 this. I'm this. I'm listening to Orion affirmations. I'm deciding shit is done because I fucking say so. Every time things come to mind, I'm saying, you know what? It is this way, it is this way. Boom, done. It's done. There's nothing for me to fucking do. Everything, in fact, because everything I do or figure out, everything I do is the right move. I'm naturally inspired. I naturally act because that's who I am right now. And if I take a day off and and cross my legs, that was the right move. If I decide to make 3 phone calls to these 3 people, that was the right move. If I decide to reject one of them and talk to 2 of them, that was the right move. If I decide to adopt a dog out of fucking nowhere, that was the right move, like I found out it was. Because the infinite intelligence already knows what you need, what to do, and it acts through you naturally. You don't even fucking think twice. And if you're thinking twice, and if you're curious, could I, should I, could I, would I, you are being the person who isn't it. You're not being the person you said you are. Why? Because if you were the person, you wouldn't be aware of the question. Okay. So who do you think has a better chance to perceive the world or a circumstance or a condition or what someone said to them from a place of indifference? And the place of indifference is where the person who has that thing already would be, because a lot of the conditions and circumstances you face, the version of you that has that thing or is in their end wouldn't be aware of it because they have it already. Right? So when I say everything you go through, see it as happening for you, or give it a good meaning, try to see the best in it, the same way that I saw the worst in good things. Now we got to see the best in bad things. Why? Because everything is meaningless. I, the Father, do all of these things, the good, the bad, the evil, because everything is the same. I'm not a respecter of persons either. Understand how reality works. So I think the one who has built their self-concept up to ridiculous heights, and another reason why this type of stuff works and talking to yourself in that manner any chance you get works is because it invokes an emotion and conviction. I swear all the time and I talk the way I do with conviction. Why? Because conviction is truth and knowing. Conviction is speaking as the God you are one with. Faster reflections. What's more powerful? Let there be light. Or, I hope it's light out. Let's see if it's working. I know I don't want to get anyone upset because I spoke so highly of myself, but no one gives a shit if I talk so much shit about myself. Or they just want to talk about it and send me to therapy so I can continue to talk about the same problem, not realizing I'm just reiterating it in my life. Again, I'm not telling anyone not to go to a doctor or therapist. But again, back to the question. Who do you think will see the world, that circumstance, that condition, that conversation from a better light? That high version of you, that God tier, fuck, I'm good. I know who I am. I don't need validation. I am being to be, not being to get validated that I am being it correctly or doing something correctly to get something. I am just it right now because I said so. That version, or the one down here that neglected self and just focused on the thing, because a lot of people say, we don't need to worry about self. You just focused on the thing, and then you get confronted with the opposite. I think you're more likely to see the worst in it because you can only see the world from the eyes and perspective of who you are currently being, because reality is all perception. One circumstance, 2 versions of you. Which one will you be when the world appears that shit is hitting the fan, even though it's not? It's happening for you. This one will know it's happening for you. This one couldn't even naturally think to see it that way. They'll be the first to run to a YouTube video or a coach or something. That's why concept of self is important, and that's why I go as extreme as humanly possible. Because why not? Reality reflects me. We all have our own experience. All right. Now, really quick, I start my mornings with that mantra. And then I say, today is the best day of my life. I'm only open to receive greatness because I am greatness. Oh, another shot to the limitless people that don't understand how not limitless, limited, that don't understand how reality works. Oh, fuck. The reality is still the same, but this can't be. You want to know why I do that? Because, guys, I don't care how long this video goes. If this goes for 2 hours, I don't care. But anyway, because it's my channel, because I don't care what anyone thinks. Because all of you are me. All right. So today is, let's say today was Wednesday, right? Or I spoke to someone today, it was Thursday. All right. Now, if I ask you this question and you know exactly how to answer it like that, that's the problem. Okay, again, understand how reality works. There's only right now, there's no past, no future, only a perceived one, and only a perceived future. We can manifest bad memories, by the way, I forgot to mention this. We manifest patterns because our ego mind that does exist, that we are one with, that we have dominion over, has to obey us, by the way. It is on our side, because it's on my side now. You know, it obeys me, like, it's my bitch now. But the reason why patterns and bad memories manifest quicker, like, I don't know, like abandonment patterns or infidelity patterns and others you keep experiencing, is because every time you remember something, it's true now. And because your ego mind that's tied to, I need proof, I need this, I need that, it's already experienced the bad memory. So it doesn't fight you and you're not double-minded on that. And it's like gung-ho. And then we don't contradict those things for some reason, right? But anyway, back to what I was saying. A lot of tangents on the villain. If I ask you this question, hey, it's Thursday, or sometimes I can ask for the whole week, right? Well, no, we'll do it Wednesday. So, hey, what happens typically on a Thursday for you? How's tomorrow going to go? How's tomorrow going to go? And if you quickly can be like, well, tomorrow I'm probably going to wake up around 9:20. My cat always wakes me up, punches me in the face. And then I'm going to, I'm going to get ready for that, 9 to 5. I go to work, but I make my coffee, take the trash out, give my wife a kiss or no one a kiss. And then I got to sit in traffic, unfortunately. And then I got to go to work. And I think Chad works that day, but I think he leaves by 4. And then Roderick comes in to relieve me. And then I'm going to go home, and if I go home, hopefully I have the TV to myself before the kids try to take over, or the wife wants to watch Love is Blind. And then we may or may not have sex, and then I'll go to bed. Now, you answered that Wednesday about Thursday. And a lot of you could probably answer that about a week, the next whole week. You know what that is? That's expectation, right? That's expectation. Usually, before we go to bed, which is a very powerful time, like, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hits, that's when it starts to sink in. Tomorrow, this, you already know. What's that type of when someone says, you see someone at the gym or anywhere, you're like, oh, hey, how you been? What's going on? How you doing today? Oh, same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. So in your now moment, you are giving yourself the expectation of the same shit every day. You can tell yourself what's going to happen next Thursday, today on Wednesday, or maybe 2 weeks from now. You're giving that to yourself now. It's an unconscious expectation of how things are going to go. So that's why they go that way. That's why it seems like Groundhog Day sometimes, and that's why maybe nothing changes, because you're expecting mediocrity. You're expecting the same thing, maybe. So that's why when every day I say today is the best day of my life, I'm only experiencing greatness because I am greatness. I choose to set the tone of every day as it's brand new, because guess what? It is brand new. And there's not even such thing as a fucking tomorrow. There's only right now. So maybe as I go to bed, I could tell myself the next time I open my eyes, it's the best day of my life, the best moment of my life, and I'm only experiencing the best. Now, to those that don't understand why I do that, again, it's because they don't understand how reality works, and they choose to look at it like, this guy is so full of it, so full of himself. Well, I will continue to, create an amazing reality, and you can just stay in the little reality limited boxed prison that you create for yourself because you think you are righteous and like gonna get rewarded, but you're not. Acts 10:34. Your reality, your rules, you're always right. This doesn't work. It doesn't. This can't possibly happen. Then it won't for you. This is violating free will. You can't do this, then you can't do it. You can't just decide and be, then you can't decide and be. Keep making yourself powerless.
Feeling good's not going to do anything.
Then it's not going to do anything for you. I never even said you have to feel good. You just decide, thou shalt decree a thing.
This is arrogance.
For you. This is my inner world. I did not walk up to one person, unless it's a friend I joke around with, that's also living their best life, like Dante. Someone wrote me an email, and I replied, and they were like, "Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. I didn't expect for you to reply." I'm like, "Why not? You're all that fucking is. Why wouldn't you expect someone to reply to you?" If the mirror principle applies, and everything you normally hear, "Oh, you can have anything you want," and this and that, and everyone is you pushed out, and it's like, is it everyone is you pushed out just if you think it's the right thing to do? You're not manipulating anything. You're choosing this. I chose the horror life I did. That's the accountability. So if I can choose horror, I can choose fucking greatness if I want to. And I don't care what anyone thinks because it's what I think. And the same goes for all of you. You guys are all that is. You guys are all love, perfection, always chosen, everyone's top priority, no one's better than no one compares to you in your reality. And if you go about life that way, everything you do is the right move. You expect the best at everything you do. You go to a job interview and you already know you're fucking chosen. In fact, they're just going through the formalities because they have to, but they already chose you. But if you go into it, I wonder if someone else is better than me, then they're going to choose someone else. Right? It's not a process. It's a process if you think of it. You think it has to be a process, it's a process. You can say with something one time and know it's true, it's done. Boom, yeah. It's the emotional attachment to it. The things you're not attached to come in. The things you don't need come in. And a self-concept that's villainous in a good way, it's not harming anyone because it's all done internal, gets you attached because it means I don't need anything. I don't need to. It goes back to the core principle of fulfillment. I don't need anything outside me to validate who I am. I'm not doing anything to get confirmation out there because there's nothing out there. Because again, I understand how reality works. We're just perceiving light. So again, guys, to wrap this up, because I can talk about this all day. To wrap this up, you have full reign, full dominion over everything. What you choose to work or to be true is indeed true and will work. What you choose not will not. If you choose to spend your time trying to bring others down or waste time not believing in manifestation just to watch manifestation and comment that you don't believe it, or comment that, oh, someone said this about you. But guys, I don't care what someone says about me. I don't care. I don't care. Because I've checked into that before, and I see why. I don't care. So, cool. They're just going to see more of me because awareness gives them what they don't want. They're focused on something. They're focused on me so much, they're going to see more of me. They're probably going to see me on TikTok. They'll probably block me on here. Go ahead. They'll block me so they don't see me. Then they'll see me on TikTok, even though I'm not on TikTok. Then they'll probably see me on X, even though I'm not on X or Twitter. Then they'll probably see me on Instagram, and not on there. And then if they try to block up from that, then they'll probably see me in their comments or whatever, or in their own fucking communities, or whatever they do. Why? Because you get what you are aware of. That's it, guys. So back to that. You are always right. Choose who you want to be and stick to it. Become obsessed with self. Love yourself. Do not be humble. Treat yourself like a king or a fucking queen. You are one with the Father. Do not be humble in the same way you weren't humble about saying hurtful things about yourself at one point. This is all done internally. And then from that, your intentions are more powerful. you're able to see the world from a higher perspective of you and become unmoved by the outside. You become unmoved by the outside, it can no longer control you. And if it can no longer control you, it has to go away. Because if it can control you by means of emotions, that means it pulls the puppet strings on you. Because if anything can move you emotionally, it controls you. It controls your reality instead of the other way around. But to be indifferent, even in the face of something great happen, you don't want to be so super excited. If you're trying to manifest it, it should be normal for you. Being super excited, you're inviting the polarity of it to experience that in the physical realm. And then you might sway. No, it's normal. It's normal for me. I understand that I am all that is everything out there is coming from me, as I am the cause. So as the cause, I make sure I do not express something I do not wish to experience. I do not talk shit about myself, only greatness about myself. I see everything from the perspective of the version of me that has things, which in most cases, then I will perceive the world out there with indifference because I know it cannot define me and I know it cannot validate me. I am the proof. I am the source. I am all that fucking is. All right? All right, I'm done. I know you guys are having a great day, but just in case, I'll assume it to be great anyway.